This is the year that I'm going to turn full retirement age, but not much is going to change in my life because I decided to collect Social Security early at the age of 62. And I did a video on a lot of the reasons why I decided on collecting Social Security early. I'll put a link to it in the upper right hand corner. But there was one key reason I never really talked about in that video, probably because it's just, at the time it felt a little personal. It was just kind of uncomfortable to talk about. But I want to share that with you today because I think some of you can relate to it. I was an only child growing up. Now, I did have a half brother, but he was not really part of my growing up. I saw him 3 or 4 times between, when I was born and, 18 years old. Saw him a couple of times in my 20s, and then we just, went our separate ways. I actually did reconnect with him about 4 years ago. And I would say we've talked more in the last 4 years than I have any other time in my life. But for the most part, growing up, I was an only child. And my mom and dad, they divorced when I was 10. My dad moved to Southern California and then eventually back to Florida. He was working with the Apollo program at the time. When he was back in Florida, he had a heart attack and he died. And he was 44 years old. Now, I'm going to put this in context. His dad died of heart failure at the age of 53. So it's just me and my mom. Well, when I was, I want to say 22 or 23, my mom got lung cancer and she passed away. And she was 54 years old. So I don't know if there's anybody out there that can relate to this. I think you can. In fact, I was talking with my half brother Mike a few years ago on this, and he definitely related to it. You reach that age where one of your parents died and you're still alive and you really kind of start thinking about your own mortality. And I did that, and then when my mom died, and I at 54 and I reached that age, it really started thinking about it. And that played a significant role in why I ended up taking Social Security at 62. Didn't really need the money by any means, and I talked about that in the previous video. I mean, I was doing my one-on-one coaching, I had my online class, the YouTube channel was monetized, I was doing okay. Didn't have a lot of bills or anything, but I felt entitled to the Social Security because it was something that I contributed to, pretty much my entire working life. And when I, was thinking about the premature deaths of my mom and my dad and my grandfather out there, I began to think, the odds are not really in my favor living a much longer life. And so that was a big reason why. And I started doing the math. And at that time, back in 2021, I looked at how much I would make every month on Social Security, and it was $2,044. And I said, okay, I'm going to make $2,044. Let's just say, for example, I live until the age of 70, which is not that far away now. And talk about my health in a second. But let's just say that I live till the age of 70, 62, 70, 8 years, right? That's $196,000 barring any increases in Social Security. Now, if I waited until full retirement age, that's just a little over 3 years from say 67 or 66 and 7 months to 70, I'd be making about $100,000 or $96,000 less. And if I waited till the age of 70, which for me was pretty much out of the question, but if I was looking at about $3,600 a month, or right around what I would say $43,200 a year. So there's a big difference there: 196,000, 100,000, 43,000, and then you're playing really the odds there as each year that you go up. So I did recognize that, okay, what if I live to 100 years old and I'm collecting the bare Social Security minimum? And I did, consider that. But I also just looked at, okay, I've got, savings, I've got retirement accounts, I have the online business, I'm doing okay. But these were reasons why, and I'm healthy. I was a smoker. Remember, I said my mom died of lung cancer when she was 54. I was a heavy smoker, but I quit about 25 years ago, and I haven't had a cigarette since. My dad had heart disease. I think I'm pretty healthy out there. well, I know I am, as according to my doctor and the blood work and everything that I take. I pretty much take care of myself. I am overweight, and I'm working on that. I think a lot of us are overweight, and I think the majority of the population could probably lose some weight, and that's a problem with me. But for the most part, I do believe that I'm a lot healthier than my parents. But here it is, the year that I would be turning full retirement age. Do I have any regrets of not waiting? Not in the least. Not in the least. I mean, that was money that I felt like I was entitled to. I had paid into it for all those years, and it did help. I mean, one of the things that the money allowed me to do was scale back on one-to-one coaching. I started doing that in 2021, where I would only coach one-on-one with referrals or individuals that had worked with me in the past, or ones that had really, took the time to research me and reach out to me, because I did make it a little bit more difficult to schedule a discovery call. Today, I'm not doing any more one-on-one coaching. I'm just doing the YouTube channel and managing my online class. And I'm very happy, and I have no regrets. So anyway, kind of a short video today, but let me know in the comments below if this is something that you can relate to, if you experience that feeling of mortality, reaching the age that a parent had died and you're living past that age, because it's a weird feeling. Thanks for stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.